In my hand today is one of the newest and most affordable phones of 2025, the Infinix Hot 60i. This is the successor to last year's Hot 50i, and it's available at 12,800 Kenyan shillings, which translates to roughly $98. So basically, we're looking at a $100 phone. Let's check it out. Now, straight out of the box, the experience is actually pretty solid. You're getting everything you need to get started. There's a frosty transparent case that covers all the delicate edges and corners, a 45-watt fast charger with a USB-C cable, and even a pair of 3.5mm wireless headphones in the box. Yes, wireless earphones with a headphone jack design in 2025. That's rare. First up, the phone has a pretty good looking design all around. It's available in several colors, and I kid you not, all the colors look very attractive. Here I have what I would call grey, but apparently it's called titanium silver, and it looks very good. The back is plastic, but it has a matte finish that's tastefully done, no cheap glossy nonsense that attracts fingerprints like a magnet. We have what looks like a triple camera system, but it's only one camera. The other two circles are just for show, which is classic budget phone theater. We'll talk about that later though. The phone is pretty slim at 7.7mm, which is impressive for this price point, and it has stereo speakers for that loud sound experience. Aside from the usual volume and power buttons, there's an extra side button that we'll discuss later. You can already guess what it's for, considering the trend of adding extra buttons on phones came back in a big way recently. On the front, you'll find a pre-installed screen protector, which is nice, and very thick bezels all around the display. That isn't an issue since that's exactly what you pay for at this price point. No surprises here. Now moving on to the display, it's a 6.7-inch panel, and like pretty much every phone in this price category, it's an LCD, not AMOLED. But honestly, that's fine. It's what you should expect at this price range. The resolution is 720p, and while that might sound like a downgrade in 2025, it actually looks pretty decent in day-to-day use. The refresh rate is 120Hz, which is a good addition. Now it's not as smooth as 120Hz from more expensive displays, but it still refreshes fast enough to give you that solid responsive feeling when scrolling. So here's something interesting. Despite having a 720p resolution, on YouTube it can still play videos up to 4K quality. Obviously it won't look as crisp as more premium phones 4K display, but a high quality 4K video downscaled to 720p will look better than a native 720p video. So it's good that it can do that. Some budget phones I've tested can't even stream videos higher than 720p. That option just isn't there on YouTube. The display is bright enough for indoor use, but you'll struggle outdoors, especially in a direct sunlight. There's an outdoor booster feature that supposedly enhances brightness, volume, and network quality once you're outdoors. Whether it actually works as advertised remains to be seen. The phone comes with Android 15 and XOS 15, and as for future software updates, it's a bit of a mystery. Infinix hasn't officially stated how many updates this phone will get, but if you're being realistic, you should expect maybe one major update at most. That's par for the course at this price point, so don't hold your breath for long-term support. Of course, you'll get bloatware. Apps like AliExpress and Boomplay will find themselves on your phone, but the good news is that you can just uninstall them. Still an inconvenience though. You can customize the phone by playing around with fonts, and apparently, there's even an always-on display despite it being an LCD panel. Now I have a theory that it's just static images instead of true always-on display, but if it works, then it works. There's an Infinix AI in the settings. You will find lots of AI features: translation assistant, writing assistant, AI note, AI wallpaper generator, the usual suspects. On the side, there's that extra button I mentioned earlier. Long press it and you can summon Folax AI, Infinix voice assistant powered by DeepSeek AI. So it's actually pretty useful for getting things done. One of my favorite things about Folax is that it gives you a couple of different voices to choose from. That's something you rarely see even in more expensive phones. Now here's something cool. At the back, one of those fake camera circles is actually an infrared port that works as a remote control for your household appliances. TV, air conditioner, water heater, sound system, you name it. Pretty handy if you're always losing your remotes. There's also an app called Ultralink that lets you make calls without a SIM card or even Wi-Fi, just using Bluetooth. Range is about 30 meters, so it's for close proximity communication. It doesn't work with all phones, just recent Infinix and Tecno devices like the Hot 60 series, Smart 10 series, Tecno Pop 10 series, and Spark 40 series. As time goes by, I'm sure it will be integrated into more phones if it catches on. Now for performance, the Hot 60i is powered by the MediaTek Helio G81 Ultimate, a budget-friendly processor that gets the job done for day-to-day use. This isn't a phone meant for hardcore gaming or multitasking, but if you're scrolling through social media, watching YouTube, or replying to messages, it handles it well. As for gaming, lighter titles like Subway Surfers, Temple Run, or Clash of Clans will run just fine. If it's more demanding games like Call of Duty Mobile or PUBG, you'll definitely have to turn the graphics way down, and even then, expect occasional lag or stutter. So it's not built for performance junkies, just casual gaming is totally doable. Storage and RAM come in two options, either 6GB or 8GB of RAM paired with 128GB or 256GB of internal storage. Since the prices across all variants are still very affordable, I'd recommend going for the 8GB to 56GB version if you can. It's more feature-proof and will give you noticeably smoother multitasking and more room for your apps and files. It even comes with a big 5160 mAh battery, and for most users it's easily an all-day battery. For light users, it could even stretch to a day and a half. When you need to plug in, the 45W fast charger does it pretty quick. It also has 10W reverse charging, so you can use it as a power bank to boost a friend's phone. It's not fast, but it's there if you need it. The phone comes with two cameras, a 50MP main lens at the back and an 8MP selfie camera. When it comes to photos, the back camera does a very good job when it's outside under bright sunlight with adequate lighting. Of course, it will struggle in poor lighting, but that's expected. Overall, it's a decent camera for the price. Same thing goes for the selfie camera. Good in bright conditions, not so much when the lights go down. Both cameras can only do 2K video at 30fps. I feel like that should be sufficient for a budget phone. Let's be real here. You shouldn't be buying this phone or any other $100 phone specifically for the cameras, but it will do well for daily shots, keeping memories or video calls. That's about it. And there you have it, my sons and daughters. That's the Infinix Hot 60i. If $100 is your budget, then I'd suggest you give it some serious consideration. It does everything you need for the price, and honestly, even more. You're getting good design that actually looks premium. That matte finish on the back feels way more expensive than it should. The display is solid for what you're paying. The processor handles day-to-day tasks without breaking a sweat. Battery life that will easily get you through a full day, and some genuinely extra useful features. It is not perfect, but at this price, it doesn't have to be. It just has to deliver the basics well, and the Hot 60i does exactly that and a bit more. Thanks for watching. I'm Milan and this is Fuzzy Tech. Subscribe.